So getting into chapter 8, our first lesson is going to be on adding and subtracting polynomials and kind of like just figuring out what a monomial is, what's a polynomial, what standard form of a polynomial, all that stuff, okay? So we're learning how to deal with monomials and polynomials. So let's talk about a monomial versus a polynomial. A monomial, mono means one term, and a monomial is just one term. And what separates terms is plus and minus signs. So a monomial would be things like a number. It's kind of a little chunky. Let's get a smaller pen here. Let's do a number, a variable. I could have a variable with an exponent. I could have a number, a variable, and an exponent. As long as I don't have anything put together with a plus or a minus sign. Also, I could divide a number, divide by a number. And then we can have polynomials, and polynomials would be like if I had x plus 3. Or if I had 2x minus 4y. Or if I had x squared plus 2x plus 2. All of these are polynomials because they 1, 2, 3 terms, 1, 2 terms, 1, 2 terms. They're put together with that plus or that minus sign. Okay, and monomials are just one term by themselves. Let me circle each monomial over here so you don't think they're all together. Okay, so if we want to find the degree of just a monomial, which is what we have written in green over there, what we do is we add the exponents of its variables. Okay? So remember that we're going to add the exponents of its variables. Okay? And if there's not an exponent, like there's not an exponent on this z right here, it's understood to be 1. Okay? Alright, so for the first example, we are going to find the degree of the monomial. So for number 1, I see one variable and its exponent is understood to be 1, so the degree of that monomial is 1. Degree, whoops, if I could spell, that'd be great. It's degree 1. Number 2, I've got 2 exponents here. 3 plus 2 is 5, so this is degree 5. Number 3, I don't have any exponents. No variables. I don't have anything to add, so this is going to be degree 0. Okay? So down here on the bottom, I want you to pause the video. I want you to tell me the degree of A and B. Remember, you know what? Let me change B really quickly. Remember that if there's not an exponent, it's understood to be 1. Pause the video, do your questions, catch up with me on the next slide. Okay, now we're going to add and subtract monomials. You can add and subtract only when you have like terms. You're going to hear me say that a lot. You can't add that. I'll say you can't add that. That's not like terms. Like terms. What does it mean to be alike? It means you're the same. So on A, x squared and x squared means that they are alike. If I have 3x squareds and then I add 5 more x squareds to it, how many do I have? 3 plus 5 is 8x squared. And then B, I've got xy to the third x to the third y, and then x to the third y, so those are like terms. So I can subtract them. What's understood to be there, if there's not a number in front of it, the term, it's 1. So what's 4 minus 1? It's 3, and that's x cubed y. Okay, so you can add them if they're like terms. I'm going to go ahead and give you a hint. The guided questions are like terms. So I want you to add and subtract. Find the sum of number 3 and the difference of number 4. All right, last but not least, we're going to classify polynomials. So our directions say to write each polynomial in standard form. I'm going to underline that because you may or may not know what that means. And then they want to know what is the name of the polynomial based on its degree and number of terms. So I want you to think of a bicycle and a tricycle and a, that's about it. Bicycle, tricycle, okay? Bicycle has how many wheels? 2, because of that prefix bicycle. So a binomial has how many terms? 2 terms. Okay, and then a trinomial has how many terms? That's right, 3 terms. Okay, so that's what they mean by based on its number of terms right here. Now, the degree, you're going to say degree 4 or 5 if it's bigger than 3. If it's a third degree, that's called a cubic. Is a cubic. And you know, second degree is a quadratic. First degree is linear, and if there's no variables at all, it's called a constant. Okay, so let's put it in standard form. And what I mean by standard form is you want your biggest degree term first. So that's going to be this squared, so I'm going to write 4x squared, and then the 3x. And that is a binomial, and the highest degree is degree 2. So it's going to be a quadratic binomial. Why was it quadratic? Because it was degree 2. And it's a binomial because there's 2 terms. Okay, B, highest degree first. So that's going to be this one first. 5x cubed. Then the next highest, which is this and this. So what's 4x plus 7x? It's 11x. Then the only thing you have left is that minus 1 right there, so you put it on the end. Now if you count terms here, let me just go ahead and warn you too. If you don't put it in standard form first, this quadratic binomial stuff that you have to do, you're likely to get it wrong because you can really only tell what it is when you put it in standard form. So this, after it's in standard form, I've got 3 terms, so that's a trinomial. And the highest degree is 3. So a third degree was a cubic. So this is a cubic trinomial. And I'm going to go ahead and write these down for you because I'm scared. And you may want to write them down too so you don't have to remember again tomorrow. But if it's a degree 0, that's called a constant. If it's a degree 1, it's called a linear. And then up here, if it's a degree 3, it's cubic, and if it's a degree 2, it's quadratic. If it's 4 or more, it's just the 4th degree, 5th degree, 6th degree. Okay? So now I want you to pause it, put this in standard form, and then tell me what degree, classify it by the degree and the number of terms. Okay? Alright, if you have any questions, please email me, remind101 me. You can contact me somehow on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also message me on Facebook. Please participate in the discussion, the question that I put on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for, points, bonus points.